up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people, man? It's Wake Up Woodward. I'm so glad we get the bonus content on the way, because I'm telling y'all, man, we're gonna have to figure out a way to cut up some of these breaks and pre-show starts, man. But it's Wake Up Woodward. We got something special planned for you guys, man. It's your boy Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, Red Wings correspondent, just ball knower, puck knower, all sports knower, man. And you guys might notice something. There's a little bit of a theme here. We got our all black on, Flannel Sam.
Oh, there's a theme. And if you read the title of this episode, it's going to play a very big factor in this show. And before we get on to what I deem to be the most relevant topics right now, I understand that it's been rumors and it's been talked about a lot on this network. It looks like the Lions are going to hire John Morton as their offensive coordinator, who was the passing game coordinator for the Broncos last year, and it was actually a part of the Lions organization in 2022. However, it's not official yet, so we're gonna let that ride. We're gonna monitor, and if any breaking news comes out, we're gonna then we're gonna do more of our deep dive on that topic, because you just still never know, because things could happen at the last second. But there's enough going on, and as Kool-Aid said, we are going to get you guys heavily involved, or at least what you guys said when maybe you didn't know we were watching.
The streets. Hey, look, you know what? It's so awesome to have KG back with us today, man. I was asked, man, I'll be real. I was like, bro, do we know where KG is? I was just worried, dog. hey, look, man, it's good to have you back. I can't wait, because Swish or Brick, man, this is a mass Swish or Break show. It's going to be awesome. This one is driven by the comments of some of the posts that's blown up since the Lions, as well as some of the trending ones across all sports, man. So glad to have you here today, man, back with the crew. What up, though? Detroit's #1 draft pick.
First off,
how was Allen Park, Mr. Kelvin Shepherd?
Yeah.
I was about to say the streets is always watching, because y'all was getting y'all shit off on Monday. Oh, KG got the job. Where's KG? Nah, I mean, shout out to Kelvin Shepherd, man. Very, very happy about that hire, and I know we'll get into it a little bit more. But hey, man,
Look at this prideful guy.
Shout out to
me for getting the job.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But shout out to him, man. But no, I'm happy to be back with the crew, man. Let's get into it.
Hey, let's rock,
more
man.
responsibilities, though.
Yeah,
that's the key.
It's gonna be hard trying to balance Woodward and coach the Lions.
And be the DC.
It's gonna be
the
tough.
world's busiest man.
Man, you know what? Just really quickly, because I want to be able to give you the time to talk Red Wings. Just real quickly, there's not much to break down in the Pistons game. They lost 110-91.
Yeah.
It was their lowest total of the season. The Cavaliers are one of the best teams in the NBA, coming off of a 3-game losing streak. They are at home, and they are playing the Pistons, who are punching up right now, but you can just see them lose steam.
Yeah.
Clearly, they need a little bit more, but that wasn't one. That's one where I do agree with JB Bickerstaff. That's an environment that you're going into, you're learning. Now you understand what it is. Next time around, come out a little bit more prepped.
Yeah, just very briefly, I'm not mad at them for that one. You can say that certain players didn't play their best. I'll just say that. Including Cade Cunningham, for the record. But it was one of those games where you're talking about the #1 seed in the East, who had been playing so well and was having what looked to be possibly a historic regular season, won in a 3-game losing streak. The Lions, the Pistons were due to get beat. This was a spot game. The Cavaliers, you may not see them lose 2 games in a row the rest of the year. So I'm not mad at it. They just need to respond.
They do, and that's what the identity of this team has been: resiliency, responding, bounce back. That's what JB Bickerstaff, he said, we will learn, we will bounce back. And Cade, he takes these narrative games very, very, very serious. That's one that I know, and we're going to have something on this a little bit later, that I'm sure he was looking at like, I want to go out there and have a good game, but Donovan Mitchell, who we know got the nod to start. He was very efficient and led his team. But we got to talk about the team that actually makes this a victory show.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting this. Over the 26-15 LA Kings, the Detroit Red Wings won 5-2. And it was interesting because one of the plays, when Lucas Raymond scored, I was already hitting you up like, bro, we got to cover this tomorrow. Or somebody, we're going to get to it. And then right away, boom, he lights the lamp.
Absolutely lights the lamp to kick off the scoring, which sets off a nice little little 5-0 run by the Red Wings after going down 2-0. You just love to see it. The Red Wings officially completed that undefeated homestand, which I said would get me right back in terms of the playoff race.
The glowing flannel.
Absolutely. I didn't know if they'd be able to do it. It was 3 tough games, but they were able to complete it. If I'm looking for a couple of big standouts from last night's game, you got to start with Lucas Raymond. 4 bleeping points. More on him later, by the way. Getting it
on cue, bro.
Absolutely. Getting the scoring started off right. You look at Marco Kasper. Marco Kasper, man, what a coming out party for him. 2 goals, 1 assist, including one beauty that stretched the lead from 3-2 to 4-2, which I believe we have the video from, JB, if you want to play it.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Because this was just too beautiful not to show you guys. I'm sure all you guys already looked at it, but look at this. You got Lucas Raymond flipping the puck ahead. You got Marco Kasper on the breakaway with the shot. Rebound, dive, puts it in. Absolutely. I mean, come on, look at that. And look at LCA right there. LCA is absolutely on fire. We need to see that atmosphere in the playoffs.
Hockey.
Absolutely. But look at that from that other angle. That is just incredible. He shoots it, it gets deflected, it gets stopped, and then on the rebound, he dives and gets the rebound goal. It's absolutely unbelievable. That really put the game out of reach. That's the type of play right there and the effort where you see that top 10 overall pick. Unbelievable. And look who starts it all off with that beautiful flip ahead. None other than Lucas Raymond himself. Another guy that deserves a lot of flowers for last night. Cam Talbot, yet another stellar performance in net, has been absolutely money on this homestand. The PK, come on, how about that PK? 100 bleeping% on this homestand after being terrible all year. Just another thing that you see them getting better at under Todd McClellan. It's something that they needed to improve on. You needed to see more effort, and they have delivered, at least so far on this homestand, even throughout Todd McClellan's tenure as head coach. And then, of course, another power play goal, which was architected, of course, by Lucas Raymond, being that demon on the power play, really leading it, finding an open Alex DeBrincat, who just buries a one-timer at top speed, right where it needed to be. I understand that the Red Wings still have some work to do, but this homestand was just awesome to watch. And this game, even though possession metrics don't really favor the Red Wings, it was still just a fun game. This team is fun to watch, and an undefeated homestand is an undefeated homestand. It gets 3 winning teams, it gets 2 teams that you're chasing against a team that is probably going to factor big in the Western Conference playoffs, man. Play effing hockey. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. And when you look at the standings, just to give you guys an update, the Red Wings now have 53 points. The Lightning, 55. And the Boston Bruins, 56. They hold number 1 and number 2 slots for the wild card. But it's interesting here when you look at that Atlantic division, man. They're just within striking distance.
Yeah,
just 3 points behind.
It's tough. I mean, it's a tough conference. They still got work to do, but as you said, they're now only 2 points out of a wild card spot. Chase, how you feeling about this team? The homestand last night, however you want to go.
Dude, I'm pumped. I mean, you gotta take care of the games at home, especially when you got these tough road trips. And like we were talking about yesterday, you got to look at the season in these little short chunks. We got these 6 games before the 4 nations, and you're going to want to try to at least go 500, 3-3 or 4-2 in those 6 games. So to start off that first one with a nice win against a formidable team in the Western Conference fighting to be in the playoffs, have been in the playoffs over the last several years. Cam Talbot's former team, Todd McClellan's former team. I mean, it was a great win, and I think Cam Talbot, since Todd McClellan's taken over, is, I believe, 7-2-1. I don't know if last night's win in the counted in that stat, so it might be 8-2-1 now. But I mean, he's been playing fantastic since he's taken over, and I mean, they're familiar with each other. They've coached him in Edmonton, coached him in LA, so it's great to see the success they're having. And I mean, like, I truly believe this team is going to be fighting hard to be playing meaningful hockey games, not only in April, but in May in LCA.
I got a question for you guys, but first, Dante151, a $4.99 super chat. As G-Mac Cash once said, the Red Wings won again.
Yeah.
Because they always effing win. Also, as a Todd father, just play effing hockey. Let's go Wings. And it feels good, man. We got to have to get boots on the ground again. I know we were talking about that with D-Mac. And obviously, as we get you more progressed into the career of it all, you'll have boots on the ground a whole lot more, especially down the stretch of this thing. And this is my question to you all. Because as I see some of these players kind of percolating, is there a little bit higher ceiling that this team can reach under Tom McClellan? Or is it just kind of these little streaks that we see them going on?
I mean, as far as this year goes, I think their ceiling is probably winning a round, although I'd be happy even with them just getting in. But as I'm going to mention in just a minute, you look at all of these young guys that have been drafted by Steve Yzerman, have been developed. You look at Marco Kasper, who was just all potential, and now you see the fruits of everything. You're even looking at an Albert Johansson being a viable guy on the defensive pairing, at a couple assists in the last couple of games. You look at Elmer Soderblom have a goal, his first one in a couple of years, by the way, really getting rewarded for his stellar play ever since he's been up. I think he's a future nice third or fourth line piece. It's just, to me, what I'm seeing out of this homestand and what I've really hoping to see from this team in terms of guys breaking out is more of the vision for the fulfillment of the Yzer plan. And trust me, I've been as critical of the Yzer plan as anybody here. I've fought the Steve bots, but I've also agreed with you at times. But you know what? Make the playoffs, have these guys keep showing development. I, too, will become a Steve bot.
Hey, let's go. Cavassier Chase, what up, though?
What up, though? I mean, also, like, to talk about last night's game, we should give a quick shout-out to Dominic Shine.
Yeah.
31-year-old, over 400 games career play.
Made his debut?
Yeah, he has over 400 games played career in the AHL, and he made his debut last night with the Red Wings. I think he's like 31 years old, and I think he played about 9 minutes or so time on ice. So shout out to him. Hopefully he gets a little bit more time up with the club. And Soderblom, one of D-Mac's guys, big, like 6'8" guy. He scored his first goal last night too. So I mean, obviously Marco Kasper's been playing really well, and you love to see guys like him continue to show out and like live up to that draft potential. But you're going to need guys through all four lines playing meaningful hockey and contributing to this team. So it's good to see the other young guys stepping up too.
Yeah, that's dope. And you know what, man? Hey, JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP. You remember how it felt in the arena last year as the Red Wings started to make that playoff push. We had boots on the ground with the crew. It was awesome time. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, who was there as well. And just how electric it is. What are you seeing out of these Red Wings right now, man, that just got you wanting to get boots on the ground again?
I mean, it's exciting. Hell, since the last time we were there, which might have added they won, and it was my first time actually seeing the Red Wings live at a hockey arena besides the Joe, I was excited, and now you've got that feeling right back once again that, like, hey, we can make something happen here if they just keep pushing. And as I say, just play fucking hockey. Like, it's not that difficult. You guys know what to do. Just go out there and prove it. And last night, hey, that was a big, huge surprise to me as well, too. So shout out to them, man.
Yeah, because it was dope, man. That's why I wanted to be able to just ask your perspective, because I know we were all there, and then after the game, we all decided, I know KG, JB, and myself, we went up to the rafters, man, up to the nosebleed, took our seats, man, and saw an incredible comeback and an overtime victory, and it went wild. Shout out to the fans that were there too, the Red Wings fans, that were giving us a lot of props at that point in time as well. They were like, yo, man, hey, like JB Smooth, KG, Kool-Aid, hey, tell Flannel we said what up, though, stuff like that. It was dope. And it was cool to see them also talk about, hey, all four sports shows and things like that. So, or all four sports teams. I know that these people are tapped in, and it's cool to see the Red Wings having a success.
You love to see that. And speaking of the Red Wings, and speaking of success, and speaking of the what I believe could be the fulfillment of the Yzer plan and the fruits of the labor that we're seeing right now, both in terms of recent history of this homestand or even throughout this whole season. I know we're going a little long with this, but you know what? The Red Wings deserve it. I actually compiled a list of random stats and facts about this team that I really think you look at it and you got to give a lot of credit to this organization and particularly Steve Yzerman. So, JB, go to page 1 of these random said facts because there's a couple pages worth of them and you're going to like what you see because it's all very, very beautiful.
I think I got this one here. Too bad the Red Wings don't have superstars.
No.
Nope. Oh, nope.
That's all right. I will just read them. Then
if you read one of them, I can find it because
absolutely
I got a lot of them over here.
Hey, we are making JB's working his ass off
He
today.
working hard over there, man.
All right, first factoid: the Red Wings are 11-4-1 since Todd McClellan got hired as a head coach for the Detroit Red Wings. That's one. Number 2. Marco Kasper now has 11 points in 10 games since being promoted to the top line. I love to see it. The Red Wings were 100% on the PK this homestand. Cam Talbot has a .963 save percentage on this homestand, or had. Lucas Raymond has scored 56 points in 50 games this season, and there is more. JB, there's even more to that, so go ahead and pull up the second one.
All right.
If you got it. Mo Seider is 8th in the NHL in blocked shots. The Red Wings are now only 2 points back of a wild card spot. Alex DeBrincat, Lucas Raymond, and Dylan Larkin have scored at least 20 goals this season, every single one of them, and we're only 50 games in.
Those are the names you want to hear.
Absolutely. And Simon Evanson is the Red Wings leader in plus minus by a long shot, by the way. And you can say plus minus is meaningless or whatnot or misleading, but Simon Evanson passes the eye test as well. So it's easy to see that he's played well. So all of these things that I pointed out, and you see, it was Steve Yzerman that made the tough decision to fire his buddy in Derek Lalonde. I almost forgot his name because I want to forget his name and hire Todd McClellan instead. It was Steve Yzerman who drafted Marco Kasper in the top 10. It was Steve Yzerman who may end up saving his free agent class if Cam Talbot continues to play as well as he did. Obviously, we know Steve Yzerman drafted Edvinson, drafted Lucas Raymond, drafted Mo Seider, signed Alex DeBrincat, paid Dylan Larkin. I mentioned Johansson, who's also playing at least competently, drafted him, drafted Elmer Soderblom. So the Yzer plan, it might actually work out, and a lot of what you see from this team is being driven by the young guys. Actually, the vast majority of it has been being driven by the young guys. So I'm really excited about this team. Yeah. I was really excited compiling all of those numbers. I was really excited watching this team last night and over this homestand. And the future is certainly bright. And if they continue to play like they have, you could see them in the playoffs. It's a really tough stretch moving forward, but the Red Wings are proving that they can beat good teams. You just got to see them do it more consistently on the road, and they're about to get tested.
It's awesome to see the young guys really leading the charge, and that's what kind of inspired my question about this team's ceiling. I feel like maybe there's a little bit more to what they can do as they come down the stretch here, and hopefully they solidify themselves as a playoff team, wild card or not, man. Let's get it. But JB Smooth, I know we got to tell the people about what's going down this weekend. I'm going to have my family out there. I know we're going to have some shows out there as well for the Winter Blast out in Royal Oak. I can't wait, man.
Absolutely.
I think Flannel's actually going to tell you about
I do, because it was supposed to be mine, and I gave it to JB yesterday. My bad. That was my bad. You can throw the slings and arrows at old Flannel Sam for that one. Woodward
would be the first time that happened.
Hey, I know. Another day that ends in Y, but this time I deserve it. Woodward Sports welcomes the Winter Blast presented by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Starting Friday, January 31st and going through February 2nd in downtown Royal Oak. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Show will be down there from 2 to 4 on this Friday. Don't miss cool events including free ice skating, spectacular ice sculptures, live music and heated tents, marshmallow roasting, food trucks galore, and thrills from a 300-foot zip line. And best of all, admission is free.
We got to get Maz on that zip line.
Yes, we do. He'll be down there. Hold him to it. He's doing a show. For info, go to winterblast.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Football's biggest game is right around the corner. Make sure you're ready to get the most out of your favorite sports with the best sports book made in Michigan for Michigan from Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Fund your online account with cash. No need to link your credit card or bank account and get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 and 50 free spins at their casino as well too. Visit playeagle.com and look out for Eagle Casino and Sports on your Android or Apple phone today.
And we are back. Look, I told you guys we had some things planned today. If you would have noticed, we all got on our block today. We have to put to rest Ben Johnson and his Detroit Lions time. And we asked the people online as well. We're going to bring you guys some of their comments, their final words to Ben Johnson. But first, the WUW Crew, led out by JB Smooth. We had to be able to bring something to the people, fellas. Hey, final word.
Oh, we got some final words. A sermon, as one might say, for Mr. Ben Johnson. And none other than our very own JB Smooth is here to deliver said sermon. Reason. The voice of reason.
Wow.
Yes. It is time. It is time for us to lay to rest one Mr. Ben Johnson. I'd like to thank you all for gathering here with me today. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, fans, and anyone still clinging on to their Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid. We gather here today to mourn the departure of our once beloved offensive wizard, Mr. Ben Johnson. The man who turned Detroit Lions offense from a punchline into poetry has taken his talents elsewhere.
That's right.
Ben Johnson was a rare breed. He made us all believe. He made Jared Goff look like a Pro Bowl quarterback once again. He convinced us that running the ball was a lost art, and somehow he even made offensive line play exciting. I mean, come on, seriously. Who gets fans to cheer for guards and tackles? I'm just saying. Is that just me? But anyway, we'll always remember the way he called plays. Ben Kadala. Get the man a tissue, please.
Somebody go get Kool-Aid.
Please. Ben,
let go of the casket, Kool-Aid.
Just
let go, man. Just let go. It's okay. But Ben, you could dial up a flea flicker on 4th and 2 or throw a pass to a backup lineman. You know what? Just for the hell of it. He was bold, he was creative, and completely unhinged.
Damn, man.
His offensive schemes were so smooth that, once again, they should have come with a Kool-Aid beat from back in the day, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He was so young, bro.
I'm sorry. At last, Ben
I heard
has
Ben Johnson
moved
was a fan
on.
of the Detroit Lions shirt.
What? Oh,
he
probably was.
I don't think he was. That's why he left, actually.
Alas, Ben has moved on to dustier pastures with a slightly bigger paycheck and a fan base that is just starving for hope right now. I mean, come on, your quarterback is Caleb Williams. Let's be honest.
It's almost like he being cremated.
I know. But once again, I digress. I'm sorry. Look, we're not mad. We're just disappointed. And now as he joins his new team, we hope he remembers the lessons that Detroit taught him. 1, never underestimate the power of a good trick play. 2, you're only as good as your last game against Green Bay. And 3, the forever chance that we'll fill Ford Field of Ben whenever we score fewer than 20 points next season, which won't be often, might I add. But Ben, you were the brains behind our offensive resurgence, the architect of our touchdowns, and the reason we no longer stood on the edge of our seats for those 2-point conversions. So, we say goodbye with a mix of gratitude, envy, and a little bit of laughter. Let's be honest. Like I said, your quarterback is Caleb Williams. Rest in plays, one Mr. Ben Johnson. May your clipboard always be full, your Gatorade jug never dry, and your scoreboard always stays empty.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Damn.
What's
tough.
that? Every time we say goodbye, I die a little.
But he is the enemy now.
Yes.
Any remarks?
Too soon,
Any remarks on the way up? Because obviously some of these comments that we're about to cover in the next segment for our Swish or Break segment, they come from this post that absolutely blew up, and it was, "What are your last words for Ben Johnson?"
Yeah.
And this was, I searched high and low for just one positive. This was,
I bet you did.
you understand? No, for real. Let me paint the picture across social media. This post is getting, it's several hundred thousands worth of engagement, thousands of comments already. And I looked, and there was a couple, and this one was probably one of the nicest. Thank you, Ben. Love everything you have given to our team. But most of the final words for Ben Johnson were ones where people were absolutely ripping him. And I know the sting of him going to the Bears has a lot to do with it. But I do believe that there are a lot of people who believe also, I think that the pain of how that game went, especially after seeing the Eagles versus the Commanders, just sent this post into oblivion.
Well, that's the reason I think why the post blew up. That's why we're even doing the segment that we did today. We understand that Ben Johnson going to the Bears as the head coach happened, a little while ago. At least in terms of football time, it's a lot of time. But it was, and this is something that I feel like has been kind of consistent across the network. It was another knife into the heart seeing the Philadelphia Eagles put up 55 against the Washington Commanders. Seeing a team like the Washington Commanders, I wouldn't say revert back into who they truly are, because I think they're a damn good team anyway, but play their worst game of the season instead of their best against the Lions. So there's going to be lots of mixed emotions and lots of mixed comments. And you know what? We are actually going to read a lot of the comments that you guys mentioned in the chat, and we're going to go around and see if we agree with them or not in a Swish or Break style.
And I need you guys to be able to participate as well. Obviously, Super Bowl season and our hopes dashed, so we got the trophy laying on its side today as well. This is actually going to be probably our first one, so KG, definitely leave that up for after we come back.
I got you.
From saying what up though to our friends. I do got a super chat that I got to read from Burn. $5 super chat.
Shout out.
Lays Rolls. And he says, anyway, so John Morton was an offensive assistant that made Rich Gannon win MVP and turned around Alex Smith. I am feeling hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a resume which is interesting and has had him working for a lot of coaches. I mean, he was an offensive coordinator himself for the Jets in 2017, and let's just say didn't have a lot to work with. More on that if he gets hired. He's been in this organization. You have to ask yourself how much of a factor he played in Bo Nix's development as well. I mean, those are all things that we certainly have to take into consideration when we think about a resume of Mr. John Morton. Shares a name with the former Detroit Lions wide receiver Johnny Morton, but that doesn't matter. It's just it's interesting. Like I said, not official yet. More on that when it happens. If it happens during the show, we'll talk about it.
Definitely. And Dante151 with another $4.99 super chat. Ben Johnson, F you respectfully. LOL. KG, hit the Undertaker theme song for Osama Ben Johnson. As Spinny once said. He said, keep it up, guys. And Sandra Powell said, good eulogy, JB Smooth. Yeah. I want to get into this because we're doing Swish or Brick, but we're using the top comments from some of these posts. I'm talking about some of these got hundreds of likes on them. So we're going to break this thing down, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it all. I can't wait. And then after that, we have one that's themed around all of the sports teams as well. So we got some with the Red Wings. We got some centered around Scooble's comments. We got Pistons. Hey, I can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Remember, guys, just be sure if you have something to say, whether it's on the show or even in our social media comments, be sure to make your opinion known because especially now that we're focusing more on getting you guys involved when it comes to responding to your comments, we will read them someday. Yeah. We just might. Yeah. But make it, even if it's it's not going to be popular, just put it out there, man.
Just put. I'm so glad that you said that before we say what up though to some friends because yes, in the comments especially. Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, put it in there, man. Put your comments down. If you use hashtag Swish or Brick or Swish or Break, it'll allow us to be able to see it a little bit better, a little bit more fast, and we'll know as well that this is part of our chat family, and we'll be able to utilize and feature you guys as a part of the show as well. And I can't wait to get into this segment. So let us not deliberate. Chat family, be involved in this thing as well. You guys already know how Swish or Brick goes. The Woodward Pistons family, they love it. They're like, yo, that's one of our favorite segments, so I can't wait to do this today. And JB Smooth, let's get that like poll up, man. We got to see who the real Detroit Lions fans are today, man. Let's go.
And by the way, beautifully delivered sermon, JB. Really appreciate you. But KG, tell us about 1800 Tequila.
1800 Tequila. And listen, if you're still mourning the loss of Ben Johnson and the loss of the Lions, we get it, man. But you can do that with some of the best tequila on the market right now. It is 1800 Tequila, and it's the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and the post-game show. The proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. And please, you maniacs, drink responsibly.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Fuel your Detroit sports fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game, saving a quiet morning, or just need a boost, Tobias Harris, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. So you don't even have to work that hard, man. Look, all you got to do is head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Make sure you're using code Woodward because you know you get the hookup with Woodward Sports to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken and Wine. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. And I can't wait for this segment, man. It is a Swish or Break segment time, man. So, chat family, as always, we need you guys to definitely hit that like button because you are the most important part of this thing. And we need you to engage. If we get to a double like goal today and you are engaging, you know what? Merch for you guys. Somebody's going home with merch. And Eric Allen, I'm so glad that you finally got your 2 merches, man. He's been a double winner on this show, man. So, shout out to you all. We love when we can turn this around for you guys, feature you on the show, as well as make sure you can go home with something. But I think it's time, Flannel Sam, to get into this.
Let's get into this. It looks like we got the first one on the board right now.
We do. Hey, look, man, if you had... Hey, JB, you going to read that off for us?
Oh, yeah, I got you. I'll read this one off for you. From Jeremy Kruger, if you had focused on preparation or call plays better, we would have hosted that game today and maybe would have done better than what Washington showed today.
Swish or a brick? Ooh. Is there a statement of confirmation there?
Yes, there absolutely is. And I am going to go with brick to start this out because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ben Johnson, the play calling wasn't the biggest reason you lost. The biggest reason you lost was because of Jared Goff's turnovers. And, of course, you know, Ben Johnson didn't do himself any favors with the Jamison Williams, a reverse pass call. But I look at it just to give it a little bit more detail. I mean, yeah, the 3rd and 1 call wasn't great, but if you just get sacked and don't fumble, you still have a chance to kick the field goal. The pick 6... Sam Laporta was open underneath, and in the pick before the half, obviously you could say, yeah, Jared Goff should have thrown a better ball, but even if he just does what he's done so many times and just see that there's nothing there and then put it in the dirt or something, you still live to fight another down and maybe score a touchdown or a field goal before the end of halftime. So I'm going to go with brick because I don't think Ben Johnson made some mistakes, but he wasn't the biggest piece of the pie.
Man, I believe that he prepared well. I think that this was more or less about stubbornness. So, you know, in sticking to what your guns are. You know, you go into that game, you say, we're the Lions. We're the best offense in the league. So I got to say brick on this one because, honestly, the Commanders showed me more defensively in that game. And I just, obviously, how much did we help them? Because I do agree with you, man. When you're giving the ball to a team that we know, you give them more chances and they're going to take every 4th down that comes their way, you are playing with more than fire at that point in time. So I got to say, brick, I don't think that it was a matter of preparation, more so or less a matter of he just didn't adjust in that game.
I don't hate that at all. KG?
My bad, but this shit is an easy brick, bro. Like this might not even hit the rim. And I know a lot of y'all think I'm just defending Ben Johnson.
Mad. There are some swishes in here in the chat.
Yeah, no, and you feel how you feel. I'm not here to police people fandom. If you really feel like Ben Johnson didn't prepare and you hate him because of that, so be it. You know, he went to the Bears. It's understandable why you would feel that way. But ultimately, there were so many things that went wrong in this game. I mean, yes, I can say that, you know, Ben Johnson's play calling cost us the game, but I can also say that for Jared Goff. I can also say that for the defense. I mean, look at how the Philadelphia Eagles broke down the Commanders over this NFC Championship game. They had a pass rush. Just imagine if our pass rush was able to do anything against Jaden Daniels. So I can make that argument for a lot of stuff. The defense, Jared Goff, Ben Johnson, but it's like Sam said, he's definitely not the sole reason why that happened.
I think I'm calling on Chase GPT right now more than Cavassier Chase. What up, though?
Hey, what's up? I'll say it's a brick as well. I mean, I think that you can prepare as much as you want, but when it came down to it, they didn't execute on the field, you know. And I mean, like, yeah, if you want to make the argument that 2 of the play calling decisions directly led to 2 of the turnovers, I'm not really gonna fight you on that. But at the end of the day, like, coaches coach and players play, and it was the players who went on the field and turned the ball over. So I can't hang that on someone's preparation.
It's crazy. 2 years in a row, turnovers tell the story of a Detroit Lions playoff exit, man.
Unfortunately.
Turnovers they had, turnovers they missed, Vildor.
JB?
I think I got to go with Brick on this one. I've had some time to process things, and yes, I do agree. If Ben would have adjusted his play calling probably in that second half, we probably would have had a better shot at this. But once again, as KG said, a lot of things went wrong in this game, so I can't put it all on Ben Johnson. So it's a brick for me.
Well.
And I see the chat as well. What up, though, KG?
No, look how they all come around. You know, I took a lot of shit. I took a lot of shit that day when I sat
Shame
there
on KG
and tried to stand against it.
We were hurting. Shame on KG for not understanding how to console us.
I mean, I feel you. I was hurting too, but I'm just saying, man, I took a lot of flack for that, though.
Hey,
but go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was like when JB wore the Steph Curry or like the Warriors.
Oh, yeah, the day after they lost.
You just took a little bit more heat than he did.
It's crazy.
To be fair, Flannel Sam was in support of you, and he made that note on the show. But Ed Catellia says Swish, Matthew Sexton, Swish, Jonathan Lord, Swish, and then Brad Hendricks, Fix Your Face. They all say brick. Tony Till says air ball. Ryan, huge brick. But then the Swishers are back with Terrell Lamar. Salty says golf went wrong. Hey, let's get into the next one.
Get into the next one. Here we go with this one. From William McGahee Jr. Say, some of y'all in the comment section are unbelievable, dude. It's not Ben's fault. Our defense was horrible when we played the Commanders. Philly had all day defensive starters. Simple. Not sure why we act brand new. Are we wrong for this?
This is a tough one for me because I feel like he's saying a couple of different things. I'm going to focus in more on the comment about the health of the defenses. And I am going to say around the rim and in, because you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, you look at like all of their young guys on the defensive line. The only person who was really missing from that D line is Brandon Graham, and he's kind of aging out of this team. The Eagles were healthy. The Eagles were getting after it on the defensive side of the ball. The Eagles were making every single thing difficult for Jaden Daniels, even though I didn't think he played bad. Jaden had to earn everything he got, as they kept mentioning on the broadcast as well. How with the Lions, they didn't have the personnel to do that. This is not an excuse. You got to beat the Commanders. I've said it before. You have to beat the Commanders. You can't turn the ball over as much as you did. But the Eagles' defense being healthy played a major factor in them making Jaden Daniels look kind of like a rookie.
Oh man, this one I gotta kind of go with Bob here. I see Greg in the chat says Bob, good take. As it relates to William, I gotta go Swish. I see Burn with the $5 super chat. Just wanted to shout that out. I still blame Ben for not going up 14-3 on that 3rd and 1. But Dan Quinn has had Ben's number for going back to 2022 with the Cowboys. He just owns Ben. But what say ye, KG?
Yeah, I got to say Swish on this because to Flannel's point, we're not trying to use the injuries as an excuse, and even Dan Campbell will tell you the injuries, they matter, but at the same time, they weren't using that as a crutch. They were in a position to win that game, and they just went out there and they didn't perform. But having Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil alone probably swings that game in a different direction. So I think the injuries did play a massive part in it, as the year broke down and, you got to your biggest moment and you failed because of that. So I got to say Swish.
I mean, I just look back at watching that Eagles game, looking at the impact of even a guy like Nolan Smith, even a guy like Jordan Davis. We know that Jalen Carter is up and coming as one of the best D linemen in the NFL, but these guys, I mean, Jordan Davis is the type of guy whose value you don't really see in the stat sheet, but even he got in on the fun. And Nolan Smith, man, this is his coming out party. My point that I keep making is that their young dogs were there. They were there to eat and they were there to hunt, and they did both things. The Lions' young dogs, their best young dogs were not.
Yeah.
Not an excuse. It's just you see why teams that win the Super Bowl are almost always on the higher end on terms of health. It's just the way that it is.
And I do want to say that if this is specifically about Ben Johnson's play calling versus the performance of the defense, that's why I say, you know what, Swish as it relates to that comment.
Yeah.
But I still believe Jared Goff did no favors. That defense
100%.
had to face so many more opportunities by the Commanders' offense. So if it was that one, I would have had to say break. But Cavassier Chase.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say Swish as well. We saw like the graphics, all throughout the end of the regular season, comparing the amount of people on IR for the Lions to other teams in NFL history, and none of those teams had made the playoffs. So for us to, expect us. I mean, I don't think it's crazy for us to expect us to compete and win in the playoffs, given how we performed in the regular season. But I mean, looking back in hhindsight over the reality of the situation, it's always going to be tougher when you don't have your guys. And I mean, even leading into the game, I think if we were able to finish the game with the same starters who, opened the game for us, I mean, not having Amik Robertson, I think, was huge. Losing him in the game, not only were we hurt going into the game, but we lost more and more guys on the field during those 60 minutes. And it's just like, it was like we were bloodletting the whole season, and finally we were just out of blood.
Yep. JB Smooth.
I probably got to go Swish with this one. Like, not saying defense is an excuse, but hey, we were hurt and limping getting here to this point. You've seen the injury report list. Just, you have to show up in a big moment like this. I'm sorry, you just do. And it sucks that we didn't get that opportunity and didn't, shine like we normally did. We've seen a bunch of players go down, but somehow, some way, we still managed to come out on top and win those games. So it's a Switch for me.
Yeah, I see Eric Allen in the chat. Having so many injuries on defense definitely had a major impact on our team. There's no denying that. And to see this team go 15-2 with a patchwork defense was truly amazing to witness all season. And you're right. Maybe if that defense is healthy, they have a better opportunity to sustain or overcome some of those turnovers, because we've seen it happen before, both this season as well as last season. But this one was one where you're losing Amik Robertson, who just showed out a couple weeks ago in place of Carlton Davis, who was showing out before he went out. And now you're relying on, realistically, Terry Arnold to go out there and be the guy. And it was just not a good recipe for success.
And I think once the offense realized they went down double digits, I think that's when they began to press, and that's when you started seeing even more mistakes up until that point. So it definitely has an effect, because when your defense can't stop a nosebleed and you got to go try and match points, that's a tough position to be in, especially in the playoffs.
Very, very tough. Well said. JB, what do we got next?
All right, jumping around a little bit. For Mr. Josiah, having both coordinators interviewing for jobs was a bad sign. I think going forward, you just deny requests in the season, and after the season, if coordinators want to interview something, more power to them. What do you guys think?
You want to go?
I was going to say, I've been kind of conflicted on this one more than ever, because I'm like, okay, in a Super Bowl window, understanding the importance, knowing you probably won't be here next year, it's just like lock in. But then you do hear people like Kelsey talk about his time on the Eagles, saying, hey, look, I had my offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. I had this many coaches poached while we were good. This is just about the culture of your team, your head coach, and what they're able to do. This is what happens to good teams, man. And so it's like, from that perspective, man, it's actually swayed me hearing it from other NFL players of teams who have been successful. Their whole perspective is, oh, welcome to the club. This is what happens. So for me as a fan, trying to make sure I update my perspective as a fan of a team like that, I gotta kind of go with a brick on this one, man.
I am gonna go with an air ball. I think this is a very pie in the sky fairy tale land take, because the reality is that if you're a high-level successful coordinator, your goal usually is to get a head coaching job, and the rules are set up to where you're allowed to interview during the season. Is it a perfect system? Absolutely not. Would I prefer for it not to be this way? Yes, but you just never know. There is 32 of those jobs out there, and you don't want to miss an opportunity. If being a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator is your end goal, that's great. If you're a head coach that has found that, that's amazing, but it's very, very rare. You got to play within the confines of the rules. This is an air ball.
Big break. Big break. And listen, this is what I was trying to convey to y'all when we came in here and, everybody was emotional. You are not exclusive to this, Detroit Lions.
Shame on you for not understanding, KG.
No, but I do understand. But listen, I was just trying to talk some sense to the masses, because these are the waters that you have to swim in now. The NFL makes rules to where, they push people off as long as they can in the postseason, as far as the hiring process goes. So this is just something that was bound to happen. Ben Johnson had already skipped 2 cycles. I can see if he hopped on the first opportunity and stuff like that, and to sit up here and say that he wasn't prepared, I just felt like that was almost insulting to a man that had got this offense to a top 3 offense the past 2 years. Do I think he was prepared? Yes. Was the execution there? Absolutely not. So it is what it is. You cannot like the move all you want, but this is part of life in the NFL, man. You just got to deal with it.
For the optics, though, I do understand and I support when you got other coaches like Kingsbury. That's where you got something that kind of shines a different light on Ben Johnson, who knew he's on the way
once
out.
Again, Cliff Kingsbury has already been a head coach in NFL, so he's not really sweating it like a Ben Johnson, who was a first-time guy that really wants to make sure he lands in the spot that he wants to land. So, like I said, you can hate the move. I'm not a fan of the move. I hate that he went to the Bears. You an enemy now. It is what it is. But hey, these things happen.
Hey, and Cliff Kingsbury is still cashing those Arizona Cardinal checks too. So he doesn't need the money, and he doesn't need the first-time experience of being a head coach. And you know what? He might end up getting a better job next year. Imagine if Jaden Daniels repeats what he did this season. But anywho, Chase, Swish or brick?
I'm going to say it's a brick as well. I feel like Ben Johnson's kind of being the one who's wearing this. And I don't feel like people are talking as much about Aaron Glenn's interviews, although the defense didn't really play that well. And I think people are giving a little bit aided excuse of the injuries. But I mean, either way, bottom line, it doesn't matter what the excuses are. The team didn't play well offensively or defensively. And so, I mean, it seems like Ben Johnson's mostly the one wearing this one. And like KG said, this is just kind of this is part of the game we're in now. This is good teams have good coaches and bad teams want them, and they're going to come try to take them. So, I mean, just, if that's the cost of being the boss. That's what you got to pay.
This is a parity league, by the way.
Who do you believe should wear more if you split it between the two?
I mean, I think if you're going to criticize the decision at all, you should criticize them both equally or none at all.
I agree with that because the defense was just as bad as Ben Johnson's.
And I'm not a person who loves absolutes, but I mean, in this situation,
because he had his dogs and AG didn't have his dogs. Yeah, that's the one component. So it's not a 1-to-1. That's my one thing. And then even the way that they handled both of how they did things.
Yeah,
AG waited a little bit. It in terms of how it looks.
I mean, what, 2 days?
It looked better. It looked better.
I get it, man.
But that's what with Ben Johnson, I understand. If you're going to the Bears, there is no optic that looks better. There's no amount of time that you can wait. Just get it over with.
And that's what it is. People are caught up in where he went, and I fully understand that because he's a rival now. But that doesn't exclude, everything that happened, because like he said, AG had just as much blame in this as Ben Johnson. And what good is having your dogs if they turning over the ball?
Just as much blame.
I get it. And yes, AG didn't have his dogs, but golf giving you
the offense with four
turnovers,
bro. Your defense is being put on in a tough spot, even if they're healthy.
That's true, but
that's tough to me. I can't put as much blame. He gets some, but
it's nuanced. Nuanced.
Love this little banter back and forth, and I'm not even a part of it. JB, Swish or brick?
It's less violent than last week. So.
Swish or brick followed by a little swish or break, huh?
Yes, it's perfect. Perfect. It goes perfectly together. I'm going to go against you guys on this one. I'm going Swish on this one. I don't like this rule, even though I don't think it will ever change. Both of these coordinators deserve a little bit of blame on this one equally. I'm not giving more to Ben and less to AG. It just sucks a little bit more that Ben went to a competitor in our conference. But for me, have a little respect for the organization that you're with right now. You're in a position to quite potentially go further into this postseason, and you're kind of stepping aside to take these interviews, to think about other things rather than staying locked in and focus on the game of the week that's at hand. So, and if other teams truly want you as their head coach, don't get it wrong. They have in their minds that, this is our guy. This is who we want no matter what. We'll throw as much money at him or whoever he needs in the office regardless. They have their minds set up. They will wait for you if they truly want you to be there. So that's just my opinion. I know the rule will never change, but that's just me.
No, JB, I get it, and I get your passion. The only thing I'll say to that is that there are 32 of these head coaching jobs in the NFL, man. These Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, you can love them for all you want for what they did in Detroit, and I do. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not faulting them for
them.
taking a job either. Trust me.
Right. It's just that it's the way that the rules are set up, and their end goals were to get head coaching jobs, and ultimately, Ben Johnson he's kind of vindicated in a way because he got what he wanted. It's just F him because he's at the Bears, and good luck to you, Aaron Glenn, because you're with the Jets. I think that has a lot to do with it.
And let's be real. If Ben Johnson went anywhere else but the NFC North, we would be singing his fucking praises. Yeah, we would have been mad about how the game went down, but overall, we would have got over it way sooner than if he hadn't went to the Bears. So,
Oh yeah, that has to play a role in it. That's always going to play a role in it, man. Like, look, sometimes breakups happen.
Yeah.
But if you look down, you're at dinner and you're trying to just, cheer yourself up, and you look up and homegirl is with the homie. It's just like, whoa. Or with the rival. It's like, what is going on?
You a dog from across the street?
You gotta have to eat.
Word.
Keep the energy.
Well, that just mean he for the streets. That's
How
okay.
about we do one more, and then we move on to all sports? Give me the best one to close it out.
I will flip this over to AG on this one.
Okay.
D gave up 38. Washington scored 6 of 11 drives, plus a pick six. Oh, Flannel's already about to. Flannel's already on.
Finish reading for the audio listeners.
Plus a pick 6 and a missed field goal. 4 for 4 in the red zone, 42 rushing attempts, 73 total plays, 34 minutes time of possession. Detroit was down 31-28 going into the fourth quarter. The D couldn't get off the field.
Bro, you said like three words.
Flannel
and Flannel was just like, bro.
Ready.
It's
Ready.
not what you think. Let's go to break and answer this along with the rest of Detroit sports, because I wanna make sure Ben Johnson gets his time by himself, and we are overdue anyway. Kool-Aid, tell us about Lady Jane's.
I definitely will. At Lady Jane's, we take the chart of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, my favorite, that hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Just
ask before you
ask, man. just ask, guys. Hey, look, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Hey, and we are back. Thank you, chat family, for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. This has been a great conversation, the Swisher break style, over the comments that we've seen, the most popular and the most liked comments about your sports teams. We already covered Ben Johnson. We're going to get into Aaron Glenn and the rest, man. Some comments from Cherry Scuba that we got to break down. Some comments about Cade Cunningham, as well as do the Red Wings have a new superstar? But we're going to talk about it. We have some super chats, man. The chat family has been on one. We're almost to our first goal of the day, and then after that, if we double that, somebody is going to get some merch. But Burn, $5 super chat. You know what it is? AG showed up to the Pistons game and waved to the people. Ben didn't, and then he also went to the Bears. I was at that game. We got the footage in our video on Woodward Sports. Blew the frick up, man.
Yeah.
It went viral. Other, like, Sports Illustrated and other people were sharing it as well. It was dope. And just the reception that Aaron Glenn got was awesome. It was after that Vikings game when they put them in a body bag.
Oh, well, yeah, that was and one of probably Aaron Glenn's best performance as a defensive coordinator ever. That's the type of game where if you're the Jets, you're looking at that being like, we've got really talented defensive personnel. This guy can get the best out of them. But as KG has said many times, I think it has everything to do with where Ben Johnson went, and if in some alternate bizarro world, horrible universe in which Aaron Glenn would have become the defensive coordinator of the Packers or something like that, we'd hate him too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there's some way to rank it. If he runs Jahmyr Gibbs more, does that make it hurt less? I don't know, man. He went to the Bears, so I think people are always going to see red. MP with the $1.99 super chat. How does Campbell not get blamed? He's the head coach. The
12 man on the field, no timeout. That was on him. I'll give him blame for that. You're the head coach. You've got to know that. Like, I put the coaching staff in a own piece of the pie when it comes to my blame pie chart, but I think Campbell deserves less than. I'd probably say Campbell deserves less than Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, but I don't think any of them deserve the lion's share.
Dante 151 $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Dante. He says, when you got Bill Belichick saying that there should be a rule where bad teams have to wait to interview the coordinators after that team is done in the playoffs, and newsflash, he's actually right. Wow.
Inject that rule into my veins. Trust me, it's not there yet, though.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
All teams have to go through it. They will go through it, especially if you're one of those teams that we talk about. It's cute when we can say we're the blueprint,
right?
And then when they actually come for that carbon copy, it's like, whoa.
And we are new to this as Lions fans, and I think that's also another part of it too. Because when have we ever been in a position where our coaches get poached? Like, we've never, ever been that. Like, literally no one hires Lions coaches after they are done here. Until the last 3 years, you build a program, you build a culture, and now you have an organization that's recognized as one of the best in the league. And yes, people want your coaches. It's just part of the game.
As much as someone says how much blame does Dan Campbell get, he's going to get the most because he's the head coach, and he took that on himself as well.
No, I think Ben got more blame. Yeah, I get what you mean.
He was taking the bullet for his homie, but but on the flip side, how much disrespect is it to Dan Campbell if people are flipping out about these coordinators leaving as if he's not the head coach that put this thing together in the first place?
I think it's a tad disrespectful because Dan Campbell is the one that put these people in positions of power anyway, and of course Brad Holmes as well. But you got to give him credit. He was able to identify Aaron Glenn. He was able to identify Ben Johnson, and now you look up, they're both NFL head coaches. Will they work out? We don't know, but the fact that you even got them to this point just shows that Dan Campbell knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but you also need to replace your coordinators adequately because we know that Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn were big pieces in why they were able to win. I think Dan Campbell will. I think this team will, but it's still a bit of an unknown because he started off his tenure here with a bad offensive coordinator, but it was also bad personnel as well. But JB, do you want to repeat the question that we went into break with, and we can answer
one more super chat, and then we'll definitely get to that. Nobody with a $5 super chat. Just wanted to say, you guys make my morning work routine excited for work. Best morning crew in Michigan. Go Lions, go Wings, go Pistons, and I'll say go Tigers. Thank you so much for that.
Shout
that type
out,
of stuff
homie.
goes a long way. Thank you guys for the support.
Thank you, and nice profile pic, by the way. I don't know how my wife looks at that face and still wants to stay married to me. How did I ever make that face? Fucking Neil. But I'm changing, man. I'm growing.
Change man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll read this once again for you guys to see it. D gave up 38. Washington scored 6 of 11 drives, plus a pick 6 and missed a field goal. 4 for 4 in the red zone. 42 rushing attempts, 73 total plays, 34 minutes time of possession. Detroit was down 31-28. Going into the fourth, the D couldn't get off the field.
Man, oh man, oh man. And it's more or less, this one was a statement as it relates to him saying, you know what, I think the blame, if I'm saying final words to Ben Johnson, I think this is on Aaron Glenn. And those are the stats, final say.
I am still going to go Brick. I think we were all, and rightfully so, myself included, I was slobbering too. We were all seduced by what the Lions did against the Vikings in the final game of the regular season. Because we'd seen Sam Darnold have a great regular season, and we saw him just get absolutely flummoxed by Aaron Glenn's defense. We saw Justin Jefferson get rendered as effective as you can render him. You saw Jordan Addison get rendered ineffective. I just think for that game, you had the perfect game plan for the perfect opposing quarterback who sucked more than I ever thought, because I was actually high on Sam Darnold, at least for what he did this year, but he holds onto the ball too long and his deficiencies were exposed. Going into the playoffs with Carlton Davis out, with Aleem McNeil out, with Aiden Hutchinson out, with Amik Robertson going out 2 plays into the game, I think it's just a hill that you cannot overcome. I'm not saying that you can't win, because I still think the Lions should have won and would have won without the turnovers. It's just you were always going to give up at minimum, I think, 27. Add a few more, make it 38. They still could have won.
Yeah.
And I still, and for the record, I do believe this Lions defense would have looked a lot different if they were healthy, but we can't live in that world.
And I'm going to say, Brick, as well, I do believe that the turnovers put this defense in even more of a bad situation. When you talk about you're already down your players, you're already scripting things, you're already scheming up new things, you're already scripting up drives to be able to disguise certain coverages. You can only do that so many times against a team offensively that is shown to be as well coached and honestly good with execution and as efficient as Jaden Daniels has been as a quarterback. There's only so many times you can show your defensive looks before they figure them out. And I do believe that those turnovers put a little bit more pressure on that defense that was already banged up and hobbled and needed the offense to do more to pick them up, in my opinion.
Yeah. This is really a swish, but there was an offensive foul, so the bucket doesn't count. But like
you're in your rod bag.
But no, and you know, for as much blame as we put on Ben Johnson, rightfully so, by the way, because the play calling wasn't that good in that game. We got to be real about it. But to me, besides the fact that you couldn't manufacture any type of a pass rush to get after Jaden Daniels and try to get him to the ground, that 4th and 2, 12 men on the field was absolutely like, I think that was the most egregious of them all in terms of that game. And if you're AG, you have to call that time out there. And I put some of that blame on Dan Campbell too, because if he's the head coach, you see that you're supposed to call the timeout too. But AG calls the defensive plays, so I put way more of that on him. That 12 men on the field absolutely derailed any last chance you had of coming back in that game. So we got to give him, he gets a fair share of the blame.
That one was tough because it was the mistake you saw happening. Like, it was the accident you saw. It wasn't the interception where you're just like, whoa, golf, what was that? This one was like, call the timeout. Call the time. We got Dan Campbell call, and it just never happened. And it was just
you had a player on the field that didn't play all year long.
2 players who had only had a couple snaps all year.
Exactly. Like I understand you were really trying to get him off the field, but if you see him not doing it, you have to call the time out there. I'm sorry.
Cavassier Chase.
Sorry.
He's deliberating.
AG, it's his fault. The defense, you see the stats there. They gave up a lot, man.
Yeah. Analyzing.
Yeah. Chase
GPT working right now.
Yeah, I mean, they did give up a lot. Like I said before in some of our previous answers, though, like they didn't have a lot to work with going in, and then the pieces you lose during the game, I don't think helped. 73 plays is a lot, and I don't think the offense did them any favors turning the ball over 4 times. I mean, that's what you talk about, you know, trying to put the other team, leave the other defense on the field. And so I'm gonna say this is a brick. I'm not saying AG has to wear all of this. Like I said earlier, I think it should be like an even split. If we're putting any blame across the whole team. I mean, like, this is a team. This is one pride. That's what we say, you know, in the lows and in the highs. You know, that's just the Lions motto, one pride. So, you know, if we're gonna succeed or we're gonna lose, like, it's all as one. So,
JB Smooth.
This is a brick for me. Like I'm looking at those numbers, and yeah, they look terrible. We've always lived by that bend but don't break in every single game, and I think AG probably should have stepped up and like, hey, do you guys see these numbers? Like, you guys need to fix something. You guys need to step up. I can only do so much. I can't go out there and physically do all these plays for you. So it's a brick for me.
Oh, you're going that it was on the defense?
No, that is not on AG, but yeah,
it's not solely on.
I feel you on that one. And I see a couple super chats in here before we get to the next one. Greg, 199 super chat. He just says you are the best. Thank you guys for the support, man. Burn, $2 super chat. Lions fans, do pressures matter now?
They've always mattered. But let's move on to the next question because we've got some doozies.
Yes. All right, do we want to stay in football or do we want to hop around?
Let's hop around.
Let's hop around now.
Hop around. All right, since, the Pistons came up a little bit short last night, you want to handle the Pistons one?
Let's do it.
Let's go. There's a couple in there.
Could Cade Cunningham take the throne of best point guard in the Eastern Conference at Worldwide? I think that's WUW.
Yeah.
Makes the case for Detroit's rising star. And also, Cade Cunningham is better all-around basketball player than Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson.
And listen, these are outside accounts. You guys already know WUW, one of the top podcasters and top people as it relates to NBA coverage in the league. And he and the Pistons account have been going kind of back and forth, and he's becoming a believer because he's a New York Knicks supporter. And he saw Cade go in there and sauce his team, and he's like, yo, this has become a trend. So now he's clued into Cade, and he's posing these questions, not us. So we got to talk about it. Swish or brick, the national narrative is that Cade Cunningham is the top point guard in the Eastern Conference.
All right. So I think this is kind of two-part. Could he? Yes. I'm going to go Swish. Cade Cunningham is a better all-around basketball player than Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. I am going to say both. Not copping out. Let me explain. Cade Cunningham is a more skilled player. I think he's a better facilitator, a better defensive player. He's got the size that Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell certainly do not.
Right.
And I think he will be better. However, Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson, what they've accomplished so far in their NBA careers is just, Donovan Mitchell, they lose Gordon Hayward, they draft Donovan Mitchell, the Jazz are in the playoffs for 5 consecutive years and they win several playoff series. The second Jalen Brunson gets to the Knicks, they've won a playoff series every single year since he's been there, and both of them as their best players, by the way. I think Cade Cunningham will be better, but I'm not mad at Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson starting the All-Star game and being considered better this year right now. Ask me again at the end of the season, though.
I'm going to say Swish. And because of what Chuck Brewer has said, he says that those other players have far more help than Cade.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
And Cade has proven to be so mature of a basketball player that I do believe he's one of those young guys that doesn't need that extra time. He's already, you see what he's doing, the stats that he's putting up. Obviously, you want to see him play a little bit cleaner in the turnover game, but when you look at the top 10, top 20, you see some of these other names as well that he's often compared to in the tops. I'm going to actually say Swish on this one. I believe that if you swap him with some of these other players on their teams, Cade Cunningham is going to be lunching. You already see what he does in Madison Square Garden. Knock on wood, because I never want to see him in the Knicks jersey. But you put him in the Knicks jersey, and I think that he's having a good time right now and out there in Broadway. So I'm going to say Swish.
This is a Swish. And listen, I know when we get into these arguments, people automatically run to the numbers. And yes, the numbers would indicate that maybe Jalen Brunson and especially Donovan Mitchell are technically better basketball players. But this is why, I kind of caught flack, me and Spinny, shout out Heavyweights, when we were presenting the argument that Cade is the best Piston since Isaiah Thomas. And my argument was, from a pure basketball standpoint, and if we're just talking skill set, Cade Cunningham does a lot more on the basketball floor than a Jalen Brunson, than a Donovan Mitchell. Really, the only thing they do better than him is score the basketball. But if you look at, just Cade's rebounding, his defense, what they ask him to do night in and night out on both sides of the floor, he's almost LeBron-like. And I'm not saying he's LeBron, so calm down, people. But what I am saying is that you know, some of the things he does on the basketball floor, only people like a LeBron James, you know, can go out there and do
bear
it
that too.
and do it at the same level. And like you said, the stats mirror that. So for that argument alone, just from a pure basketball standpoint and skill set, Cade is definitely a better all-around basketball player.
Cade, you just said Cade is LeBron. That's what I'm
Cade,
That's fine if you want to put that on me.
And via Stat Defender, your best defensive field goal percentages in the fourth quarter in the NBA, Cade Cunningham is allowing 33.3% in fourth quarters in the NBA. That is number one.
Don't make me
defender in
change
that
my
stat.
mind now. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. It's the two-way ability. He did. You sparked something there because you're right. And you look at his defensive field goal percentage at the rim. Cade is doing his thing.
I'm telling you, and like I'm just going by the question, and I understand the stats don't necessarily back me up, but if you watch basketball, you know what I'm talking about. So it just is what it is.
Chase GPT, while the question was being read, you were already talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, I said this last week when we were doing Swisher Brick with Rod Beard on our Wednesday side. I said he was the best point guard in the Eastern Conference already. So I'm wondering if maybe Worldwide WUW is a fan of the Wake Up Woodward, depending on when they tweeted this out or not. You know, maybe if it was after last Wednesday,
you knew Kool-Aid was gonna pick this shit up.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe if this is after last Wednesday, you know, he might have got the take from tuning in at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here at Wake Up Woodward.
Let's go, Chevy Spook.
I want to go Swish with this one because I believe he's the best point guard in the East. Do other people see it that way? Probably not. You can tell by the All-Star voting as well, too, how it just seems like Cade gets overlooked. But as KG said, if you actually sit here and watch basketball all around, he is the better talented player. But obviously the numbers won't match that same aspect. So for me, it's a Swish, but for the national media, it's probably a Brick.
We see how it plays out in those votings.
I really appreciate your guys' perspective because I might have been wrong on this one. I got a lot of respect for Brunson and Donovan Mitchell too, but I think Cade is going to be better.
I respect your process, so it's just like it makes me think more. I want to make sure this is no shade at Brunson or Donovan Mitchell, who I think Donovan Mitchell one of your best combo guards in the league, and Jalen Brunson one of your best point guards in the league. But Cade, I've been saying this for a while, and now that he's finally putting out the stats and the Pistons are winning, I'm sorry, there's a conversation to be had.
To me, if you want to argue Donovan Mitchell, I might give a little bit there because just look at the body of work that he's done over his career.
He's tortured us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But if we talking Jalen Brunson, I mean, come on, man. I think that is
what do you mean, oh, come on, man?
No, I think that's a very comparable argument. Like putting Cade against Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
I'm not saying he shits on him completely, but it's a better argument than Donovan Mitchell.
Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. JB, what do you got next?
I like this one, so I want to go with this one. Still leading to another Piston one as well, too. We put this out. The Pistons have held exploratorial trade talks with the Chicago Bulls surrounding Lonzo Ball. Question, if this happens, are the Pistons a sure playoff team?
The people are saying that, and this post was blown up since then. This was after just a half hour, and it was already at 11,000 engagements, man. So this thing is kind of blown up all across social media on our platforms. I believe that they have enough right now to at least be a play-in team, but you bring in another facilitator or somebody who can bring a little bit more in the front court. And I do believe that this is a playoff team.
Swish, swish, swish. Give me Lonzo Ball or give me death. Seriously. Lonzo, and here's the most important thing about Lonzo Ball. The most important thing right now is in the month of January, he's playing every night at about 25 minutes a night. That means his knee is healthy. It's or at least as healthy as it's going to be. Also, in the month of January, he is shooting 37% from three, which is more in line with what he was doing before he got hurt on the Bulls and what he was doing with the New Orleans Pelicans. Shout out Fred Vinson. And also with Lonzo Ball. And maybe this is a hot take. Lonzo is one of the best passers who walks planet Earth right now. Lonzo Ball, to me, is a better passer than Cade Cunningham right now.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball has that gift. And if you're talking about a secondary facilitator, a secondary ball handler, somebody who can also play off ball and knock down a three, somebody who's got great size, somebody who can defend as well, Lonzo Ball puts this team in the playoffs, no doubt about it.
I love that. I love it, man. And it's just seeing what happens to this offense when Cade is on the bench and having a rest, especially since Jaden Ivey's been down. That to me is where I'm just like, yo, if you can get somebody like Alonzo Ball, who also is not necessarily looking for his shot first, he's looking to facilitate and to set players up and can also get you a floater. His shot has been improving, like you talked about. Man, oh man, I want to see something like this happen for these Pistons. And you talk about the deal. It's an expiring contract. You wouldn't have to necessarily give up much to get back. You talk about potentially some second-round picks and then something contractually to make the numbers work. And you're talking about $20 million plus in cap space coming off the books this summer.
Yeah, this is a Swish. And I think a move like this does elevate them to a playoff team, like for sure. The biggest question I would have is, do you want to start him, and maybe push K to the 2, but still have him handle ball, still have him handle the ball in most situations. You could do that. But the fact that he's getting healthy now, he's not somebody like Sam said that's just hunting for his shot, although he can shoot the 3. He can provide you some spark on offense. I think his playmaking ability is like exactly what this team needs, especially if you were to put him on the bench.
And just remember, before we get to Chase, the way I was talking about Lonzo, you'd think I was mentioning Magic Johnson. I'm not. What I'm saying is that for this role on this team as the backup point guard, as somebody who could, I believe, play minutes with Cade even and fit fine. Yeah. This is what this team needs. They lost a lot in Jaden Ivey, and of course what Lonzo Ball brings you isn't what Jaden Ivey did, but it's that type of player. I mean, I'm worried that Cade is just going to have a little bit too much on his shoulders moving forward instead of having to handle the ball all of the time. Not saying he can't. It would just be more advantageous to team success if you get somebody else who can.
And Alonzo Ball also gives you another off-ball shooter. So rather than having Marcus Sasser having to play the point guard position, you can put him at a position where he's more off ball. There were a couple plays where Malik Beasley was able to pump fake, get into the paint, and pass it off to Marcus Sasser in the corner. And what do you think he's going to do if he has a wide open 3? More times than not, he's knocking that down. But when he's the guy that you're now asking to go be a point guard, which he's a combo guard, I believe you're taking him away from what he does well. If you bring in a guy like Alonzo, I believe you balance both the starters and the bench as well as the minutes without Cade much better. And then when you're talking about certain minutes where you can run Cade off ball, I know the Pistons, they're not going to take the ball out of Cade's hand.
No, I'm not saying
they're
you should.
Keep that usage at like 27. But
even if they were to kick him to the 2, I would say he still handles the majority of the playmaking responsibility.
I would do stretches where it is Lonzo, a guard like that, kind of dominate from the 1 and Cade off ball, because that's where you get more or less Cade being able to take advantage of his footwork, especially the stuff in the post. I think that there are plays sometimes where the matchup dictates post him up, but he's the lead guard, and so you don't want to take the ball out of his hands.
Chase?
I think this is a swish. This is a Cade Cunningham swish. This is a Malik Beasley swish. A Tim Hardaway Jr. swish.
Is it a
Tobias Harris swish? On the one basket, he'll make a game.
There we go. There it is.
Knew the shade was coming.
But like Sam was saying, like he's a great facilitator. And what we've talked about was, do we need a backup facilitator? I prefer starting power forward. But I would definitely take Lonzo on this team. I think he dramatically lifts the floor of everybody else around him. We've been playing a lot better. I think he's a little bit of an underrated defender as well. So I think that bringing him in for that, not only to pass the ball as well, to facilitate the offense, is going to be could be very beneficial for this team. So I mean, I'm going to say swish. I'd definitely take Lonzo on this team.
All day.
I already know what you said.
All day, this is a switch for me. I've wanted this dude on this team for a while now. I'm glad the Pistons are trying to at least explore this a little bit more. Although I am a little bit leery of him, as Flannel, as you said, he's getting those minutes, he's getting back healthy. So I kind of want just a little bit of insurance coming back the Pistons' way if they do decide to, explore this trade a little bit more. But this is a switch for me. I want this man on this team.
And I get it. And for the detractors, I'm not asking him to play more than 20 to 25 minutes a night. That is just fine with me. JB, let's do one more and then go to break. What do we got next?
I gotcha. Let's switch over. How about hockey? You guys
let's do it.
Yes.
All right,
I've been waiting for this one. I want to hear from Flannel especially.
All right. Too bad the Red Wings don't have a superstar. From Big Head Hockey, power play points led this season. 27 from Nikita. I'm not even going to try Kucherov. 25 from Jack Hughes and 24 from Lucas Raymond. Raymond has been so good this season. Swish or brick?
I am going to go brick, and that doesn't necessarily mean that Lucas Raymond isn't a full-blown superstar right now. What he can be, but he definitely has superstar potential. I mean, when you look at this graphic, when you look at him in the same company as a Nikita Kucherov and a Jack Hughes, it speaks for itself. The 56 points in 50 games, the way that he really, at times, at the end of the year when the Wings were struggling, put them on his back. And you know what this graphic also tells you about power play scoring? You could realize this if you don't even watch the games and just look at the box scores, which I don't do. So stop typing. I set myself up for that one. But the point is that the Red Wings are a team throughout this entire season, even when they've been playing better under Todd McClellan. When you look at in totality, have been way too power play dependent. However, Lucas Raymond has also shown to be a demon on said power play. Look at that graphic. That tells you that even if you want them to be better on 5-on-5, the fact that they are excelling on power play, the fact that the power play throughout a large chunks of the season has really saved them and kept them afloat, that falls at the feet in a good way of one Mr. Lucas Raymond. So Lucas Raymond is well on his way to superstardom. I just can't go there yet, but that is not a knock.
I was going to say, you know what, Brick, but I believe he's on his way. It's an ascension for him. And to see him go out there night after night and be really one of the most consistent players on this team, it's awesome to see because there are so many other names there. And I do feel like sometimes Lucas Raymond's name, it's not necessarily an afterthought, but it just doesn't get brought up sometimes when I hear people talk about the discourse around Mo Sider, Dylan Larkin, Patrick Kane, Alex DeBrincat, and I feel like he's one of those ones that when you see people like this, like the Octopus Store, put these things out there, I think it's because everybody else out there sees it too. He's well on his way.
And this also speaks to, as well, Lucas Raymond's growth as a facilitator. I mean, people were talking about, I know like Spenny predicted 40 goals, which isn't going to happen, but with Lucas Raymond, I mean, you saw it last night as well. It's the facilitating. It's the I believe 36 assists that he has right now, which is insane. It's last night. It's orchestrating the power play and finding DeBrincat for a goal. It's flipping the puck ahead so that Casper can have his breakaway. Lucas Raymond is making a ton of strides both in facilitating, and I would also go defense as well, while also being a great goal scorer and while being an excellent power play player. So Lucas Raymond, he is the least of the Red Wings' worries right now, and I think you could argue is the best overall player on the team.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. This is a brick, but he's well on his way. And thank God that the power play numbers are better because the beginning of the year, it was kind of rough from a power play perspective. But they seem to be getting back on track. And Lucas Raymond is somebody that, all offseason, a lot of people expected him to take that next step and to be a guy that puts the puck in the net. And, by all accounts, he's been able to do that so far. So, and like Sam said, he's growing as an all-around player as well. So let's just enjoy the ride. Right now, he's not there yet, but he will be. He will be.
This is a full ice shot at an empty net that goes just wide for an icing. He's making some very big improvements. I do feel like that is a little bit of stat picking in that tweet because Nikita Kucherov has 73 points on the season to Lucas Raymond's 56. So, I mean, comparatively on the power play, but as Sean Belizean says, man cannot live on power play goals alone. So, but I mean, like Sam said, defensively, his improvements, he was the worst plus minus on the team last year. Right now, he's -2. So, I mean, and his assist numbers have been consistent all throughout the year. At the beginning of the year, people were talking about when's he going to score his first goal, but he was never short on providing and getting other teammates opportunities to get the puck in the net. So he's improved his game all around, and I think he has the potential to be that top tier name here in Hockeytown. But right now, he's just got a little bit more to go.
You're right, Chase. He's not in Kucherov's league as an overall player. He's not Jack Hughes as an overall player. I just think it's impressive that the power play numbers, he's even in the same room as those guys because he's not there yet. You're right.
Yeah.
JB?
This is a brick for me as well, too. Lucas, you're on your way right now, so let's not rush perfection. It's a slow process, and as soon as he gets there, he will be on the rise. But as of right now, he's just working, improving, getting better and better. And hey, you're with the Red Wings, so automatically, bro, they're gonna make you a star. So just chill out, wait on your time, man.
Hey, let's do some more when we get back, because this is a lot of fun, and we've got all the time in the world. But tell us about merch.
Yep, I will tell you guys about merch and some jars. So, merch.com, woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs for you every single week. Grit don't quit. And we got it on a t-shirt as well too. Detroit football, and they can't take it away from us. 2024 NFC Divisional Champions, belts to ask. Go and pick up one today. woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. New designs every single week for you. Go and grab some. Get swagged out. And once you do that, head over to Jars and let them see it. Shout out. Because no matter whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars has you covered. They're home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis products. 27 locations in Michigan, 9 alone in Metro Detroit. So they're always repping Detroit in a big way. And don't fear if you live in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, Michigan, because new stores are coming your way very, very soon. It's Jars Cannabis. I know you want to get high.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
New year, new you. How about a new car? Les Stanford Buick GMC is here for you. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT for 24 months with 10,000 miles a year for only $699 per month. Just a $1,999 down payment, or a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. 24 months with 10,000 miles a year for only $359 per month. Sign and drive, no down payment required. GM discount required for both. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, lesstanford.com. And then, of course, you have to go to Planet Fitness. Buy a car, join a gym, do all in one day if you have to. There are over 50 plus Metro Detroit locations. They have the cheapest memberships, only $15 a month for the basic one, or you can upgrade to the $24.99 per month Black Card, where you get access to all kinds of amenities, with my favorite one being your ability to access all Planet Fitnesses across the world. Join today, in club, online. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential. Hey, welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you all for choosing to kick off today with the WUW Crew. Hey, if you haven't gotten an opportunity to chat family, go ahead and smash that like button. Hey, you know what? We're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from that double like goal and someone getting some merch. Let's get those likes up, chat family. And you know what? Let's jump right back into the Swisher break. We do got Detroit's number one draft pick, KG, in the sound booth. Kavasier Chase is in the building. Woodward Sports MVP, JB Smooth in the TD booth. Shout out to our brother that do Justin, Matthew Broder, and you already know, Kool-Aid and flannel on the desk. Hey, let's get the scuba one up now, and I'll get the other graphic to you shortly, brother.
I got you. This one from Tiger's Torque Mail. 3 scuba on a potential
From where?
I believe it's Twerk Mail.
Oh, I thought you said twerk mail.
Twerk Mail.
Get your back out the damn gutter, bro.
See, look. That's all that tile placement
Right.
over there, man. We done told you.
This guy right here.
Tariq Skubal on potential Alex Bregman to Detroit signing. He will look really good in Detroit. I'm sure he wants it. That pause there, but
Shut up, Ted.
also once again, Tariq Skubal on potential Jack Flaherty Tigers reunion. I love to have him back via foul territory.
Hey, and it's a little bit of what we teased yesterday. I'm all for this. Skubal is for this. Flaherty, Bregman, bring him home. And Flannel, you said this yesterday. That's an AL Central title right there, man.
100%. This
Swish.
is such a swish for the possibility of it happening that the net doesn't even move. Alex Bregman you could put him at third base and he could be a perennial all-star type player for the duration of his contract because he's still relatively young and he's that kind of a player, which would give you an all-star along with Riley Green, who already made one, et cetera, et cetera. And if you bring back Jack Flaherty, think about it. Jack Flaherty had, in my opinion, the best stretch of his life in the time he was with Detroit. He was with Chris Fetter. He was excellent. He goes to the Dodgers, gets to pitch and help them win a World Series. What better than to come back, get your old pitching coach back, get your old teammates back, rejoin the Gritty Tigers after winning a World Series, and you get an offseason of Flaherty, Bregman, Gleyber Torres, Alex Cobb. That's fine. That's perfect. That's AL Central. Swish.
KG.
I mean, this is a swish, but why is Tarek Skubal saying this? Why aren't the Tigers
get it. I get it.
saying this
That's the
shit?
point.
Like, it pisses me off, bro, because listen, Alex Cobb and Gleyber Torres, fine MLB ball players, it's not enough, bro. I'm sorry, but if you were to do a deal like this, absolutely. Jack Flaherty comes back in, probably number 2 in your pitching rotation. You add Jackson Jobe to that mix, and now you're looking at a pretty solid pitcher rotation going into 2025. Of course, we all want Alex Bregman. He would be perfect at third base, and I think that just gives you more versatility as to what you can do with some of these players in the infield. But it's all up to the damn organization, bro. And, you know, we keep hearing reports, but nothing solidified yet, and we're getting closer and closer to spring ball. So, I mean, I really hope that they can pull something like this off. If they do, the offseason is a A+ total success. And like Sam said, I think this puts you firmly in control of the AL Central, or at least competing for it. Absolutely.
I think you bring up something so important when we're all sitting here waiting for Tarek Skubal to get paid, and we know that he deserves that. The fans want him, and we know how important he was. When you go into the playoffs, especially, that you know this guy can go out there and give you ace-type stuff on 2 days rest sometimes if you need. That's so important for a team that has expectations. And what is he out there saying? The stuff like you said, KG, that I feel the organization should be saying and going after. You got people who cover MLB all across the media landscape saying, look, the best move that probably won't be made is Alex Bregman to Detroit, and it makes too much sense. We don't know why it's not happening. You got Skubal now going out there saying, can we please make something happen?
Yeah, dog.
Take advantage of that window, man, of having a Cy Young pitcher. But, hey, if it happens, though, definitely swish in theory. But, Chase?
I mean, it's a swish. I mean, it'd be awesome if we could add a third baseman and spend some money on this team. But
Right.
As I've been hearing and it's been explained, the revenue sharing minimum payroll threshold is $105 for the owners, and the Tigers are spending $106 million. You know, so coincidentally, it seems. So, you know, hopefully, it seems like we got a lot of room to spend. We'll see if we use any of that.
Little Chris knocking over them garbage cans.
Do you have on your headphones?
I mean, I have an AirPod in, but like,
you'll hear him. We're laughing at. Goodness gracious. KG's over there cutting up in the sound booth.
Some bullshit.
What up, though, JB Smooth?
Look, I'm gonna tell little Chris this right now. Open your wallet, spend some money. Get these guys over here. I don't care how much we gotta spend extra for some hot and readies, or however much you jacking up the price at the ballpark.
now.
Jack them up to 10. All right, get these guys over here right now. Open your wallet. I'm serious. Swish. Just bring them home.
Man, hey, I just sent that other one to you, because this is the one that I really, really, really want to be able to get you guys' take on, especially Flannel Sam.
Yeah.
I know KG and Chase, you guys are clued in to the Tigers baseball, and it has everything kind of to do with the antithesis of this post. Everything that the Tigers have done to this point versus what they haven't but need to do to this point. Do you have that other graphic ready for us?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Hey, let's pop that up there, man.
All right, so check this out. On paper, there is not a single position the Tigers are worse at in 2025 than they were in 2024. The offseason ended in Alex Cobb, Gleyber Torres, and a reliever would be a very, very fair reason to be critical of this front office.
I'm going to start with the bottom one. The bottom one is a swish for that comment. I don't think that it is enough for this Tigers team in terms of putting them over the top. However, and this is one where I had to really do some thinking and some digging, they really aren't worse anywhere. In theory, this could be a playoff team again with what they've already done. But it also, to me, highlights that they're so close to actually being a contender, because you look at it, their starting pitching should be pretty strong. You got Skubal, you got Olsen, you got Jackson Jobe, you've got if Herder or Ty Madden or Kiter Montero, Alex Cobb, you can throw them all into a mix. The bullpen, you still got Tyler Holton, you still got Sean Gunther, you still got Bo Brisky, Will Vest, Jason Foley, etc., etc. And I'm looking at this lineup. Jake Rogers, same as last year. Probably Colt Keith at first, Gleyber Torres at second base. And by the way, Gleyber Torres' value is that he has a career 854 OPS against lefties, which is something that Kerry Carpenter doesn't do and Riley Green doesn't do as well as hit righties. You look at third baseman Veerling still, maybe. You look at the outfield, Green, Carpenter, Malloy, Meadows. That's pretty good. Shortstop, though, is where it's like Trey Sweeney was good for relatively when he got here. You certainly don't want Baez, but this isn't a bad team. It's just there's more that could be done.
KG, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, of course you ain't no worse. You ain't added no fucking body. It's the same fucking
Didn't lose anybody either, though. They're all the same.
Be worse? But you know, and Sam, I don't necessarily disagree with your point. I mean, because they did make it, you know, as far as they did with those people. But there's so much instability with this team still, especially around some of your younger guys. I mean, Torque and Colt Keith, I look at them, you know, even as far as Riley Green, who is an all-star, don't get me wrong, but there has been times where him and Kerry Carpenter, injury-wise, you know, throughout the season can't hold up. So I think it's still so much instability there that you would benefit from spending a little bit of money and adding a little bit more talent to this team to help them push along to your ultimate goal, which is getting your young guys up from the minors and having them make an impact.
Well, that's why I love the way this question is worded, because I don't think they're worse anywhere. And yeah, they didn't really add much, they didn't lose much, but also
it's a little bit of a cop-out.
100%, but also Gleyber Torres, a reliever, and Alex Cobb, that's not acceptable.
No.
So both things can be true.
Yeah.
Like, they can still be a playoff team, but especially if you haven't signed Skubal, you've got a short window with him, man.
Very short.
That's gracious.
Very
gracious. And that's why I'm at. Obviously, with Tigers Torque Moil, I am more in line with that line of thinking with all NBA K who's saying on paper there's not a single position the Tigers are worse at in 2025 than they were in 2024 versus what you could have gone out there and get. I will say, yes, this team is not stepping up. You just made a playoff appearance.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, like you said, the small window that you have with Skubal, who you have not paid yet, and he's at least saying, hey, can you please go out there and get us some horses? That's what I'm saying. We've heard now AJ Hinch go publicly and say we need to do more, and now we hear Skubal going out publicly and saying we need to do more. So I'm not going to argue with the manager and your top player in the team as it relates to believing that, hey, you know what, this squad is, happy-go-lucky right now, because we all know this. They, in my opinion, they played above what a lot of us expected. We thought that they had the recipe, but we saw the injuries, and this team still found a way to kind of overcome a lot of that. And Skubal had a lot to do with that.
It's not just the fact they made the playoffs, but realistically, yes, it was great. It was a great ride, but it was a fucking miracle they made the playoffs last year. Like, we just got to be real about it. So, yes, on paper, they got the same ingredients to get back there, but what are we expecting? This team was 10.5 games back, and if it wasn't for a collapse of the Twins and them just kicking it up, you know, in the last month or month and a half of the season, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. It was the way they did it was not sustainable, and we all know that. That was a miracle run, but you can't get back there the same way.
Literally, like, best record in the league over like the last like 20
Yeah,
games
like
in the season.
it was impossible what the fuck they did. Like,
Kvasia.
Can you guys repeat the question?
Effectively.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, on paper, there is not a single position the Tigers are worse at in 2025 than they were in 2024. The offseason ending in Alex Cobb, Torres, and a reliever would be a very, very fair reason to be critical of this front office.
So basically, the first statement was in response to the second one, and he's saying, "No, I think that they're actually pretty good going into this next season."
Well, the game's not played on paper; it's played on the field. So I mean, yeah, it's very fair to be critical. I mean, back to my previous statement about the spending of money, it's like what we want and what we're gonna get seem to be two different things, which is very unfortunate. I mean, with this team has like young players who are ready to win now, as well as young guys who are ready to come up and help continue the success moving forward. But there's it seems to be there's people in place who do not necessarily want to win as badly as Tigers fans and some of the coaches and players who are actively speaking out and talking about the things that they would like added to this team to help them win and compete every day for 162 games and into the postseason.
JB Smooth.
I have to agree with Flannel. I don't think that there's any position on here where you're like extremely hurting, but I'm not against adding better talent to this team right now. And it all goes back to money once again. And on paper, yeah, everything looks cool, but it's the talent that's out there on the field. And are you willing to spend money to bring up guys and to bring in guys? That's the bigger question, but that's just me.
Hey, I think this was a really fun segment, and appreciate you guys for all your comments on our social media. And
continue to engage.
Keep doing it, and we will continue to do segments like this. And you might just get your comments scrutinized and picked apart on Wake Up Woodward. But tell us about New Holland.
Oh, I got you. New Holland Brewing Company, that Tangerine Space Machine, the new easy drinking IPA that is out. Why you say it like that?
No, I meant it in a good way.
Oh,
that's my shit, boy.
Oh, I was about to be like, wait a minute,
rock with some New Holland.
Did you have a little bit too much?
No, I haven't had enough.
Oh, all right. Well, that's
not
also
enough.
an option as well too. But remember, it's smooth, it's juicy with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with this intergalactic haze of goodness. This is the official beer of outer space, but you don't have to go that far. Grab it at your local store today. Brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of New Holland, Michigan, so you always can support locally.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
That's little Chris.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They're still continuing on their limited time offer of their fresh signature wings that they have for this football season. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, add a fresh order of wings to that order as well too. They got 7 different flavors, and don't fear, because if you don't have time to stop in store, you can always order online at Sorokis.com, and you can celebrate with Mark White, right?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Little Chris,
and then,
knocking over them garbage cans.
Hey, between all of that, what a day you just had. You went to Soroki's, you went to Mark White, then you went to Feldman. My goodness, getting everything done. And since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward Chat family. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. And it's been a good start to the day. And you know what? I'm going to feature more of the chat family. So after the show ends, or if you want to go into the, not the live chat, but the comment section, put hashtag Swish or Brick or hashtag Swish or Break. Put your comment in there and we'll make sure that we include you guys right along a part of the show as well, man. It's going to be, I want to be able to see what these people are thinking, because it's awesome to see how the Tigers talk right now has just kind of taken over the chat. Obviously, people want the Tigers to spend a little bit of cashola.
Little bit of cashola. But speaking of cashola, what's trending?
Spark up Word to Jars.
Oh, Word to Jars. Let's do it.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, you want to know who ain't Lil Chris? It's JB, dog. my dog. What's
Let's
up with
ride, boy.
What's going on,
Let's ride.
chat
Like
family?
cold
Pissed
Little
off.
Caesar's pizza.
I mean, I guess we're a little pissed off that Chris ain't spending no money, but maybe you can spend some money on this. I gotta show you guys this. The new Lids hat that is coming out right now. It's clear, everybody.
Come on, dog.
It is
What the fuck is we doing right now?
hat that Lids is putting out. I don't know. This is what we've come to,
Bro,
everybody.
that's bad for my hairline.
You're in school.
What'd
You say that again?
It's the hat they let you wear in school now. They have
Right.
the clear
I
backpacks,
guess.
clear
Right.
hats. Like,
Make sure you're not hiding a gun.
Lids, what are we doing? Like, what? Come on now.
That might be the most aesthetically unattractive thing I've ever seen on a human. That
Yeah,
just looks goofy.
I'm starting to become a grandpa.
I
Like,
was just about to ask, like, Flannel, are you wearing this?
No.
this town's going to shit.
Cavante looks like he's deliberating.
Chase, are you wearing this?
Chase is wearing it. Look at him.
well, first of all, I have a lot of hair.
Yeah.
And so the hat, like, you got to have, like, specific, qualifications to fit my head, kind of, with the hair. I found this cool little adventure cap from Meyer.
I feel your pain.
And I rock that on my runs. It's perfect. It keeps my neck away from the sun and lets my hair poke out the back. So I'll wear it in sometimes.
Yeah,
for
the
you
chat
guys.
family ain't liking it either.
I mean, but sometimes when I wear a hat, I'm trying to hide my hair. So, like, there's no hide that shit there. Like, it just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy work.
Lids, it's a no from us right now. And Kool-Aid, I done warned you. Like, you need
What
to
up,
stop
though?
messing around with these bounce parks. I done told you once.
Talk to me, bro.
Oh, shit. At least he had a soft landing.
Not for his ego.
Yeah, not for his ego, for
dignity.
sure. But
What was he? Oh my gosh. And goodness. I'm mad they put like a little donut shape back there. Yeah, my man was running hard.
yeah, he too hard, bro. Because it's like, dog, all you start with the first one. He skipped over the first step, and you not athletic, dog. Like this, it was always going in bad.
Yeah.
Like,
As soon as his momentum of jumping hit that second.
it's like,
And the fact that it swings, he couldn't, like, get the...
Yeah.
He couldn't step over it at all. Yeah.
It's rough business. Rough sledding for you. Finally, I will
Hold
end.
on.
What's
Where
up?
do we go to make this type of content? Where are these places at here?
Yeah.
We're going to have to do this
Is
type
there
of
a
stuff.
Zap zone? I don't know if they have, like,
oh,
stuff
y'all
like
don't
that.
want no
a Zap
smoking, no laser
zone.
tag. I tell you that right now. I'm like Call of Duty in that motherfucker.
There's a
Stop
place...
playing.
Hey,
Stop playing.
All right,
There's
I
a
go in the
place-
first person
Laser
mode
tag.
on you. I go in the first person.
We got
you-
laser
what?
tag and Bar King to do with.
There's a place, I think, in, like, Plymouth that has a simulation gravedigger you can ride. So not quite what we're talking about, but something else that's cool.
You already dead, cool. I already shot you, bro. It's over with. Like, you don't want no smoke with you, man.
Why is everybody saying, is that Jack Sawyer from pre-combine workout? That's Jack Sawyer.
That's
Is that Ohio State
Mike G's hating right now.
Mike G, come on. Hey, go blue, by the way. Go blue.
No.
Did you guys see the fan who caught it with Ryan Day?
I did.
Oh, that was
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah.
Shout out to him, dog.
I seen that too, Dean.
Go blue.
Oh, man.
Just
Let's
walked
rock.
off.
Just wild. Finally, I will end what's trending with this. Chase, you might need to get your grandma on this one. I don't. This ain't looking good.
Oh, shit. Holy
Homegirl
shit.
broke her ankle trying to swing.
Oh,
Look at the ankle, though. Look at the ankle.
Why is this my grandma?
I don't want to look at that. Oh,
Dog, hold on, dog. Hold on, bro. She did the Family Guy fall. She did the fucking Family Guy. You know how they fall on Family Guy with the little leg over the
family members and
Oh my God.
friends.
How's that not like a season-ending injury?
She did the Peter Griffin, dog.
Oh.
Yeah, that's tough.
And the probably granddaughter or daughter is just like, bah!
They're just laughing and recording. Hey,
Look right
zoom
here.
in.
She's just
Let's
dying.
zoom in. And there we
Leg
go.
just
Get her
gave
pain on
the fuck
camera.
out. That is crazy.
Oh, JB, you
Hey,
My
566 is pretty good though for that fall.
How you
Hey,
yeah.
momentum. Yeah. I mean, at least she
man.
got a decent score.
You gotta get you some shoes with some grip, girl. Come on now. Like, this is ridiculous. Your fucking ankle gave out on you.
Oh my gosh.
The ankle completely just like turns to the side.
Holy shit, she did the Peter Griffin fall, dog. I can't, dog. I can't.
It's how the leg just flings out too, dog. It was so much pent up pressure there. Look at that. Look at that. It's like, well, you got
leave
the
her there
way,
for
you
a
got her.
minute. Like,
Gosh.
Oh, bro. Holy
Just
shit.
out of karma, I am
Holy
never
shit.
doing one of these machines again in my life.
Yeah.
what? Come on.
No.
I ain't never did
I
that.
feel
on
like
the
it's going
push
to end
machine.
bad for me now.
That's a new one. Like, I
It's going to
ain't,
end bad for me, bro.
I don't care if you only registered 300 on there. Yeah, I ain't never did no shit like that. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. That's crazy work.
Oh my God.
Somebody-
But that's
Michael-
it for what's trending. You guys.
Michael Dyer says she went down in 2 parts.
Holy shit.
Good one, Trinus. What up, no stick? I see you in the building, bro.
Shout out, Steve.
All I see is LOL, LMAO, oh no, laugh, JB.
Is that
you,
Hutch?
Look, JB, you got the chat family riled up, man. Good job as always with what's trending, man. Chat family, we got a few minutes for a couple mailbag questions. Get your Feldman mailbag questions in the chat. Oh my goodness, man. Hey, JB, that was hilarious. But BitCon51. Hashtag Feldman Mailbag. Are we wrong for hating the Yankees and Dodgers for spending a ton of money and should be upset at 90% of the other teams for not keeping up?
Yeah, you should be mad at the rest of the league. It's a no salary cap sport.
Yeah.
Like, what are we
Ended
talking
on
about
Tigers
here?
talk.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean,
The Yankees been spending for
I
fucking
know,
centuries at this
I know.
point.
And the Dodgers, I mean, they won it all.
Yeah.
So
They the West Coast Yankees.
And there's so
It is
many,
what it is.
and there's teams that are actively just not trying.
And at
honestly.
least we know this, man. The best times that we can remember for these Tigers in recent history came when they were spending.
Yes,
It just-
very
it just-
much so.
It just is or what it is. And I know it's cool to see a lot of people that are fired up about these Tigers, man. Because they're right there. It's like when you hear Tarek Skubal go out there in the same podcast and he's putting out multiple things like, I
Yeah.
want that player and that player. We already know that they've been talking about having Flaherty back here since before they even traded him. It could be a possibility because we know he's going to at least pick up the phone call. But this is a matter of what are they going to do? That's why I'm just like, it feels like it's right there. How are Flaherty and Bregman, how are they not the moves? I can understand if you think certain players might not be worth the money. I don't know, man. I just don't get this one.
I know. I don't either.
Desert Stallion 14, Feldman Mel Sack first. Who we rooting for? KC 3-peat or CJ GJ to win the Super Bowl? This is an easy one for One Flannel Sam.
I'm rooting for the halftime show.
KC 3-peat, but I will say this, and this is something that I admitted to earlier on, KG. CJ GJ had a good year. Yeah. I'm not going to act like he's always trash because I couldn't stand him when he was here. He had a very good year.
No, he did. Absolutely. I really don't like Nick Sirianni. I mean, I could deal with the rest of the Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts, it'd be nice. Saquon absolutely deserves to win a ring after that bullshit he dealt with in New York. But I mean, I think it's Mahomes. You notice what the NFL wants. Mahomes is getting this 3-peat.
Have we undersold Sirianni though? Because we've treated him like he's just like a jester who just is like yelling at fans
You know
and
what?
peacocking and everything, but he's about to be a 2-time Super Bowl appearing head coach.
I think it's up for discussion. I mean, just being real about it, you got to give him credit. He did get back to this point. I didn't think he would be able to get back to this point, but you also got to account for all the talent that they got, man. They are loaded. They are loaded, dog. So, I don't know, man, but if we going to see, if he wins the Super Bowl, I'll shut up.
We gonna see.
Howie Roseman has more to do with this than Nick Sirianni.
That's
for
a
sure.
fact.
Second, odds that we are the team to once again start the season versus this year's champs, since we play both on the road next year.
Wait.
Basically, the Lions starting off against whoever is the champs on the road. I mean,
high.
They sell prime time.
High.
They travel. They
very
watch.
high.
Yeah,
that's very high.
Yep.
You know what? I kind of like it.
Yeah. No. I think that's
It's
almost
possible.
written in the stars.
Yeah, they do play Kansas City on the schedule next year, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You already know who they're going to play. Yeah, they do play KC.
Yeah, but do they want to get that to us? But that was twice in the last 3 years as the opener. I don't know if they want to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just reading this one just because it's funny. Like, I understand. Because it shows me just how far we've come. Jordan from MI, #mailbag. How much do you guys think Anthony Tolliver or Charlie V can help the Pistons playoff push?
Anthony Tolliver would have been a dog on this Pistons team. You better stop playing.
Old Tollivers, Pistons Tollivers, if we can find a way to have him travel to Tollivers and come here, you know what?
He'd be a dog with this
Charlie
iteration.
V, though, I'm good
on him. The cancer
keep his
patient, I'm
name
straight.
away.
Hey, KG said it. The other KG said it, not me. That was the other KG.
The other KG.
It's the other KG, bro. What you want me to do?
Oh my God, shout out to the Pistons.
I ain't gonna lie, he
Tigers,
deserved
the
that.
Lions, dog.
He deserved that after taking that money.
I'm a
doing what he
KG.
did.
I'm a KG. I don't want Jada Pinkett Smith on the Pistons.
Wow. Hey, we're going there. Okay.
Hey, keep my wife's name. I'm going there.
All right.
Oh shit!
What a
You
freaking
wildin',
show.
Damn.
I was looking at Chase. I was wondering which way was it going. Because Fledo looked like he wished. Fledo looked like he wished he could be a turtle and just have just go away. And Chase is sitting there like, you know what? Fuel on the fire.
Yeah, I chose violence.
Why? He deserved that. You came and took that fucking money and you gave us what you gave us, man. F Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Charlie Villanueva, I wouldn't be mad.
That man
considering all
Big
that I
Gordon
made.
can go to hell. But him and Big Gordon can go to hell, dog. For real.
And just for the record, I put no muzzles on my men here. You can be as non-PC as you want. So I support you guys. I just would never have said it myself, but you know what? Congratulations.
You said worse on this network.
Yes, I have. Yes, I
said
have.
a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, I have. You're right.
The other KG said it, not me. I'm just repeating what I heard. It's a lot of
Alopecia,
KGs out
people.
here.
Alopecia.
Nothing wrong with it. Alopecia. I just said don't want him on the Pistons.
I'm so mad that he got so much support in the chat, KG.
I told you, man. Them was the dark days of
Up
the
for
Pistons.
speculation says KG exactly.
Can't stand them days of the Pistons, bro.
Oh man, dog. Is that a dang? That's a show.
Rodney
Yes.
Stuckey, Jonas Jerebko. Like, come on, you
Oh,
bring it up
Jonas
old hurt.
Jerebko.
You bring it up old hurt,
man.
Went to the Celtics and it was just life was never the same for him.
bro. Yeah.
But goodness gracious, what a show, chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of the entire WUW Crew thing. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't gotten an opportunity to. Hey, share this. And remember, put your comments in. Swish or break. Swish or break. Hey, put those comments in the chat. Make sure that you're commenting on our social posts as well. We'll make sure that you guys are part of the show. But let's get that chest pass and let's end this thing.
And a KG, I thought Henry Ellenson was going to eat.
No,
So
man.
Fuck Henry Ellenson.
Come on, guys. Austin Day. Hey, KD Light, right?
I was so pissed when we drafted Ellison.
the problem with Austin Day is he makes KD look like a bodybuilder. Austin Day was like 6'10", $130.
Yeah, man.
And you know what's crazy?
Fake ass
man?
Austin
Luka
Rivers.
Garza would have bodied all them players. Goodness.
Dude. Henry Ellenson played 83 career NBA games.
Holy
Shot
shit.
Jerebko, Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
They was really trying to make
2K13.
Jerebko a star, bro. They was pushing him to be a star, dog.
Bro,
Like,
2K pick and pop,
Yeah.
threes all day.
Jesus, man.
They were pushing him, man. A little bit ahead of his time, but
What a horrible time to be alive. Jesus.
shout out to our brother Stick. I see him over there in the Lions Den, handle phones on him, man. 2 phones, Stick.
Oh, you know
shout
it's
out
serious
to him,
with
man.
2
It's
phones.
serious when it's
Yep.
2 phones, but and again,
ring.
There you go.
Hey, first mind that Brandon Jennings team was low key a beast for 12 games. They were the best Pistons team we'd ever seen. That Brandon Jennings run was epic, man.
No, that 2 weeks. that shit was like Linsanity.
I knew that shit wasn't gonna last.
Goodness, dog, man.
Hey, Jeremy Lin got a ring.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
is a fact.
And Jeremy Lin, like, we remember that time. Chase, I don't know how old you were, but we
No,
all
Linsanity
remember.
was
it.
Insanity run was
amazing.
crazy.
That
It was
shit was
insane.
really crazy.
Yeah.
I was in high school.
He put
I'm
up like
pretty sure.
38 on, was it Kobe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I broke out 2K13,
I
started
remember
playing
those
with him. I
times.
started putting up buckets with him. I was going crazy with Jeremy Lin.
Hey, you know, Cavassier Chase. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, Joe? Great show, guys. Great Tuesday. Stay tapped in. 53 minutes away from Big D Energy with Neil and D-Mac. KG, I think, filling in for Spenny. I'm filling in for KG. So we got a little bit of the musical chairs going on. And then Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I think Anson's filling in today. And then the heavyweights. Stay tapped in. Best Detroit Sports Network in Detroit. And I look forward to hanging out with you guys throughout the day in the chats. Have a good one, man.
Who's Anson filling in with is what I'm curious about.
I think it's Braylon and Anson.
Okay, it's Braylon, so it won't be like World War like 10.
Thank God. Anson been on a run this month, bro. He been on a run. Shout out my dog.
He not handling the Lions' loss any better than we are.
Yeah.
No.
He not handling anything.
We are all.
Shout out to Anson.
You challenge him on anything, he get hot.
Hey, this Elite Booth. Hey, it's good to have you back as well. Detroit's number 1 draft pick. I almost called Chase that by accident. I was like,
He did, yeah. He got halfway through it yesterday.
I was like, Detroit's Cavassier Chase. When it's Detroit's number 1 draft pick in the sound booth.
Oh, man.
It's always good when we have our family together, man. It's KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood, and
Yes,
you're going
sir.
for MVP.
Yes, sir. And enjoy it while it lasts, because when camp starts, I'm out. So you just let y'all know. Y'all was talking all this Calvin Shepherd shit. I'm out when the season starts. But no, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate all the love coming back. Appreciate the likes, bro. Y'all help keep us afloat. We really, really appreciate that. Y'all don't understand. Shout out to my team. I'm glad to be back, and we going to kill it this week, bro. Let's keep it rolling.
Let's rock. Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. It's a Tuesday. How dare I? In the TD booth, it's JB Smooth. What up, though?
Big breath.
Oh, so you thought you were going to get away.
I thought I was gonna get away with it today. I thought you was gonna
No, smack you with them things.
No,
Jugs.
Right in the face.
Nope. Shout out to everyone in the chat for rocking
triple
with us
F.
once again. KG, I'm glad you're back, brother. I'm gonna need you to grab me a couple jerseys from Allen Park when you head back up
I got you. I got you.
You know, I need a few of those jerseys, but hey, stay tapped in with us for the rest of the day. Heavyweights is gonna be crazy. I already seen their prep they're working on. It's gonna be wild. So just stay tapped in.
Hey, I see you up for speculation. Thanks, guys. You got us fired up today. Great show. We got Flannel Sam, Vet of the Squad, Vet of the Network, All Sports Noah, Red Wings correspondent. I could go on and on. What up, though, brother?
Can we talk about how Kelvin Shepherd got hired when KG wasn't in?
Yeah, I know,
added even more to the speculation. Cannot beat the allegations.
No, for real. When I was away, I'm like, oh, they gonna have a field day with this shit. They is gonna have a field day.
But there's another team in the state, which, to my chagrin, we might have to talk about tomorrow if they win tonight. JB, you interested in talking about some MSU basketball tomorrow?
Oh man.
All right, we can do that. Only if they beat Minnesota, but they're gonna fucking beat Minnesota.
Hey, Stephen Baffy, WUW Crew smashing it like a wrecking ball every day. We appreciate you guys. It's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Guys, have a blessed day. Have a good one, and thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. Let's go. Let's wake up Woodward.